live and in high definition. This is Avid Sports WSVR. Good evening everyone, and yes, World Series Virtual Racing is back, and it's 2015 and it's the first race of the 2015 BTCC season, and we're here on the Indy layouts at Brands Hatch, hoping that we get this race off to a flying start today. My name's Squire, by the way, and I'll be taking you through the race here today. So, let's just have a look at the lineups and teams, shall we? So, actually, we'll get to the circuit. Actually, we'll get to the teams in a second. But first, we're on Brands Hatch here. This is basically, if you don't know what Brands Hatch is, this is the short layout, and basically, it's short. It doesn't lead into the forest. It only leads into the next couple of corners, into the last corner of the circuits. And this race last year, we actually raced in the dark. This time is actually back in the daylight of day. So without further ado, let's just have a look at the teams and driver lineups today. It will just come up in a sec. Hold on. Okay, so here we are. This is the lineup for the championship this year. We got the M Sport GTR team of last year's season champion Chris English, who won in the second half of the season, the 2014 B season, from Christian Mass, who's been now removed. Matthew Lewis is his partnering driver this season, who takes the number 4 seat. Then we've got Swiss Motion Racing. They've got Jim Self and Roy Wisner at the wheel. Next up we have the Pro Race 100 team, driven by Tony Barker and James Kirk. The Kitty Litter Racing is driven by Andy Horton and Rob Mason. The Podikova VRT team is driven by Jovica Dudukovic and Dene Manaziv. Next up is Energy Racing, which is driven by Neil Bateman and Michael Pishman. Then we have Quatermass Racing, driven by Max Spooner and Miles Dixon. Race Hub Racing, which is driven by Mark Russell and Christian Russell. Rockstar Racing is driven by Chris Bram and Elias Farakel, who's a new guy here today. Next up we have Octane 100 Motorsport, and it's driven by Graham Foster and Alan Mead. Next up we have Cosmo Autosport, driven by Joshua Anderson and Thomas Hinds. And next up we have the independent teams. Simon Ward will be driving his Lumia Motorsport. Next up we have Bradley Durden in the Millennium Motorsport. Next up we have Michael Boyd Griggs in the Project M Racing, Russell Brewis in the TSR Tynart Racing, Chris Vickers in the SR Racing, and Simon Crane in the Carlin M Sport car. Sorry if things are a bit laggy here today. There we go, it's just gone back to normal now. And we are going into qualifying in a sec. So let's just have a look at drivers currently doing their laps at the moment. We'll go on board with Russell Brewis now. Just going down the main straight. Currently can only do 19 for the moment. And oh, he's just gone too much over that first curve. He was in the race and he caused contact. He would be receiving a penalty, and that is bad in racing, but somehow good in football. Anyway, enough of the cliches. Let's continue on with this. We're only about a couple minutes away until qualifying. So let's have a look at the top 10 in practice so far. So it's English leading ahead of Mason. Then we got Andy Horton ahead of Barker. Vickers is in 5th. 6th is Hinds. 7th is Self. 8th is one of the new guys on the grid, Rastner, driving for, I believe it was Bambino Motorsports, for some reason why this name like that. Roy Worcester and Alan Mead is the top 10. So this is Brands Hatch, the first race of the 2015 WSVR BTCC season, and it's live. Welcome back, and we're just in time for qualifying here, and off the track already goes one of the Russell brothers. It's Mark Russell. Not the start of the season that he wanted at all. So let's move on to other drivers who just got in front for qualifying at this moment in time. We believe just one of them going past the Druids Hill Bend, and that is the Pro Race 100 racing car of Tony Barker. Just going through the last corner now. It's 22 laps, remember, this race. 3 races to come after qualifying, which will be in about 13 minutes time. So let's just have a look at the first qualifying lap of the day from Tony Barker. And he seems to be held up by one Mr. Christian Bram, and he's gone off track a bit. That is going to mess up his lap heavily, and he's just quitted out. So let's have a look at another man who's going to be starting his lap, and this one is Mr. James Kirk, his debut here in the World Series Virtual Racing BTCC, and he's a fellow commentator in a fellow league, the GPVWC, and he's driving here today. So welcome, James, to the World Series Virtual Racing from me. I will not go on to too much detail. You already know by this time. Anyway, let's moving on. So yeah, James Kirk is on his lap. Just gone past the Druids Hill Bend, going past the Graham Hill Bend as well. And he's going on to the final bend. Remember, this is an Indy circuit, so basically 3 to 4 corners maximum here, only on this part, only on the Indy circuit, and he has done. And he's on pole position. He's just taken over Manaziv for the top spot at the moment. 48 dead, 6-6. Not exactly dead, but you know, you didn't get the idea. Manaziv is just behind him by 0.03 of a second. That is pretty tight, if you ask me, but not as tight as, well, you already know by now. Let's move on to other people who's just racing here. We got one of the Russell brothers going over the top. I see, as in terms of where he's going on track, is either Mark Russell or Christian Russell. Wherever he is, he's about to cross the line now. We'll find out in a sec, and it is Mark Russell. And going slow for that bend. He's not going to get much time out of that. His brother Chris Russell has just put in his time now, and yeah, and always just gone. Druid Sail Bend just gone a little bit wider by there, and he's been caught up by. Let's just see who is behind him, but it's limited time. Sorry about that. And it's actually his brother. The Russell brothers are chasing each other head and tail here, but it's not really exactly the race, isn't it? Calm yourself down. So, oh, the engine noise is so close, and he's gone off track. That is really spoiled his lap, Mark Russell. And his brother Chris has just gone past. So yeah, let's have a look at other drivers then. So Denny Manaziv in the Podnikova VRT is going across the line now. Will he overtake Kirk back for the top spot? And he hasn't. He's only 2/10 slower than James Kirk. Remember, if you watched our Rallycross broadcast about a few weeks ago, back at Christmas time, you'll notice that Kirk is actually one of the few stronger Rallycross drivers, and therefore he might have an advantage here if considering going to racing, because remember, he has had racing experience as well as commentating experience, but I will not brag about that one or tell and such. And Mark Russell is actually putting life in danger here, because even though everyone here is well behaved, it doesn't seem to be going well. And one of the other Podnikovas or pro race drivers just gone off just now. We haven't seen who it is. We'll see now. And it's James Kirk, of all people. Mind you, he has set another fastest lap at 1:47. It's a 47.987. And oh, James has gone off for the first bend and crashes into the barrier. Unbelievable stuff there we're seeing. Let's have a look at someone else. We're on one of the Swiss motions here. Whoever it is going to be either Roy Worcester or Jim Self. Who's it going to be? It's Jim Self. Remember that famous win back at Snetterton, I believe, last season. Hoping to repeat a 1-win success, or at least 2 more here this season. So Jim Self, nicely consistent going through the first couple of corners. Going through the first corner now, the Graham Hill bend. Now he's going up to the 4th corner, which actually leads onto the last corner, not into the usual forest where it has done on its previous occasions. Remember, this is the Indy circuit, not the Grand Prix circuit. Grand Prix circuits are much more longer, therefore the lap distance will be lesser. But anyway, we'll carry on with this. Jim Self hasn't really put a lap in yet, but let's see where he will go. And he has gone into 4th position there, Jim Self. Let's have a look at someone else. That is not Jim Self, that is Hins we're having a look at. And let's have a look. That is James Kirk again. Let's have a look at someone else. There is Joshua Anderson in the Cosmo Autosport. Normally he would now he named the car Cosmo Autosport after the character Cosmo off the anime TV series Sonic X. But unfortunately, times changed, and instead he's gone for a similar, different coloured character, but from Pokemon instead. Where has your mind gone, Josh? Where has your mind gone? I will never answer that. But anyway, enough of those kind of cliches, and let's move on doing his lap now, or is he starting his lap? He's starting his lap now. So Joshua Anderson has basically been promoted from the BTC Cup last season, but though they've changed the license systems from now because unfortunately since the BTCC Cup has been discontinued, the rules stipulate that if you are consistent for about at least 30 minutes before the official practice session starts, you will be allowed to race. If not, then you are not allowed to race. So basically, the admins here have basically been a little bit much more lenient here because getting a last season was absolutely daunting for the BTC Cup because it does take a considerable amount of time. And, yeah, that is really what happening at that moment in time. Sorry if the stream is not going as possible, and we just got Javica is having a couple of problems, so we'll start in a few minutes. Well, it's too late, man. We already started now. So yeah, sorry about that, Matt. So let's see what Josh so far, and yeah, so Anderson is basically trying to keep up his well, basically, even though he's been a little bit slow last season, he's actually trying to improve as much. He's well, at least better than the Russell brothers at the moment, because as far as we're concerned, Chris Russell is the only man who's got his consistently lap time in, but there is a little bit. Actually, Chris Russell is actually 7th place, while his teammate and brother Mark Russell is basically much more slower as Anderson goes off on the grass. Unbelievable stuff there. Let's have a look at Graham Foster in the pro race. Where is he currently at? He's 10th at the moment, just squeezing into the top 10. Will he try and get another lap in? And I've just realised this is practice. I've just realised this is practice, not qualifying. I do apologise for that, but at least we'll get some practice. We'll get some practice laps in. So yeah, we'll be back in a sec. This is still Avid Sports. This is still the World Series Virtual Racing BTCC here at Brands Hatch, and once again, it is live. Okay, we are officially back for qualifying. Officially this time. And we are, let's say, up front at this moment in time. And it's Tony Barker who away. Chris Mo from himself. Barker, I think. And James Kirk has just stopped on the track. We just confirmed that James Kirk has just stopped on the track, but now he's actually continuing on. So let's go back to who was at the front just now. He's away. It's blocked by Durbin, I think. Or was it? I don't think it is. Going into the Druids Bend now. Nicely consistent English for there. Going down to the Graham Hill Bend. Just missed the apex, but still lovely stuff coming in from the Englishman. And now he's going up into the final corner. Here, this is the Indy car circuit. Not much surprises there. And Chris English is coming through, and let's see what his qualifying time will be. And it is 47.939. Self is only just about 2 tenths behind. Lewis 5 tenths behind. Kirk is only 2 tenths behind, but has just moved into second place. That's how close Kirk is. So therefore, Chris English might have some real competition like he did last year. However, Chris didn't get off to a good start this time last year back at Silverstone. But I'm hoping this would turn the corner. So James Kirk is in second behind English. Self is in third. Horton in fourth. Lewis in fifth. Dudikovic is in sixth. Me in seventh. Vickers in eighth. Razner in eighth. Razner in ninth. And actually Razner just gone into 10th. We just had a new fast lap coming in from Rob Mason. So it's Mason leads ahead of English, Kirk, Self. Then it is Horton, Lewis, Dudikovic, Mead, Vickers and Razner. Manazzi, Foster, Brewis, Anderson, Bram, Russell, I believe that's Chris Russell, Spooner, Worcester, Barker and Mark Russell make up the rest of the field. 20 cars, that is the highest number that we had in this season so far, and hoping we would maintain that number. So let's have a look at other drivers on track. Here is Hinz, who hasn't really got put in his lap time yet, but I believe he's coming across the line now. Is it going to be enough to get into the top 10? And it isn't. He's 14th at this moment in... Oh wait, he's 11th. He's 11th, but though he's not really far behind. And most people are falling down the order. Razner has just improved on his lap time. Horton has overtaken English. So if you think about it as in terms of nationality, it's English, Welsh, English, 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 English. And just popping into 7th is Manaziv, so it's Macedonian if you think about it. Then it is in English and American, I believe. Is it Russell? I don't know. Chris Russell, I believe, is in 10th. Mark Russell doesn't really pose that much of a challenge to much people this year. Let's hope they are not going to be like the Tits brothers or the Tits man and woman. I don't know. Jan Tits and Avenger Tits. So let's continue on. There's only 10 minutes left in this qualifying session. Let's have a look at other drivers then. There's Razner in the Bambino, the Bambino Ford Focus. Lovely colours that is for Bambino. And he's currently behind one of. He's actually behind Bruce. He's just actually lost his front splitter from spoiler there, front bumper. Bumper splitter spoiler, I don't know. Next up we have Christian Bram And then we have Chris Russell just going past Brewis just now. Dudakovic. Then we have Graham Foster just in front of Roy Worcester. There is Chris Vickers, one of the newcomers this season. He's currently 16th. Not much as consistent so as we say, but he's actually getting to that stage well, I believe. He's just behind Joshua Anderson in the Cosmo Autosport Volvo. And he's just going across the line now. And still 16th at this moment in time. Let's have a look at the other drivers on track. And there is Graham Foster, as I just pointed out just now. Dudakovic is just actually just backed out a bit there. Then we have Chris English just in front of Roy Worcester. It's actually Roy Worcester that we're viewing at this moment in time. Let's have a look at someone else. Here's Chris Russell. Then it is Bram. Let's have a look at there is Brewis, who just had his bumper fix. Vickers, and I think that's it. That is all the field that was currently out on track. So let's try and go on board with one of them. We're on board with Mark Russell, one of the most inconsistent at the moment. Or is it Chris Russell? It's Chris Russell. So let's have a look at Mark Russell. Where is he? And oh, there goes Horton. What a spin from the Welshman. Currently 4th at the moment. Been overtaken by English and Barker in terms of qualifying positions. But at least he's okay. Barker's in the pits with him, but Barker's just gone back out. There is the champion, Chris English, in the M Sport GTR. And oh, there is a crash in the pits. And who is that? Oh, it is Mark Russell. Mark Russell is basically one of the most inconsistent drivers at this moment in time, having crashed on many occasions, having not getting as much practice as he can. In the pits just puts the cherry on the disaster cake, if you think about it. Mark Russell, basically inconsistent, if you really have a look into the details. So now he's going back out on track, and he's going a little bit fast, I believe. God, I was not breaking the pit lane speed limit. And he's gone a little bit wide there, but he's gone for that corner fine. Going for the Graham Hill bend. Let's hope he breaks there. Yep, he does break there, but he's gone a little wide, and he's just behind Joshua Anderson, who's just in the temporary car, as you just saw on screen. Now he's going up to the Indy circuit bend, where he usually ends on it. Let's hope he can actually get a good, consistent lap in. Here he goes across the line now, and he's starting his lap. Let's hope that he gets it all, and he's tying with Anderson, and he's actually let him through. But does Mark Russell respond? No, he doesn't. He's actually broken. He's actually locked up a bit through that corner, and as a result lost time through there. And oh, he's gone off of the Graham Hill bend, off on the hills, and crashed his backside. Goodness me, the Indy window is going to be easier than commentating on football. Anyway, back to this race. And Mark Russell, as you can see, inconsistent. I do apologise, but it is the truth. Next up, that is Joshua Anderson, crashing out in spectacular style there at the beginning of the pit lane. There is Alan Mead, good old Alan, and he's going across the line now. We only got about 5 minutes session, and he is currently in 15th place at this moment in time. Let's have a look at someone else. There is Razner in the Bambino but sports car. really trying to put his skills to test. Adam Rasner in 13th place at the moment. Number, but lucky as it is at this moment in time. Going for the Graham Hill bend. Absolutely lovely. Got a little bit wide off there. Still going nicely though. And he's behind Joshua Anderson, I believe, in the Cosmo Autosport, showing the car there as he goes off a little bit wide off the corner. Only 4 minutes left, and here he comes across the line. Raza, what time does he do? And he's still in 15th. There is English's teammate, Matthew Lewis, currently 14th at the moment, to be at the start of the season, hoping that he will be of last season. Here he cross the line. What time will Matthew Lewis? And he's in today. Roy Worcester got a little bit of that first corner now. The Druids Hill bend. Nice Swiss. Hill bend. Nicely done. The final, this bend here now. This time will place so it's 0.2 seconds off the pace from 10th. Just about 3 minutes, around 2 minutes left of the session now. Across the line is Andy Singh under Accord. He's changed his car. Nicely done. Welshman. And a little bit wide. 2 minutes left. Oh, in the third. Yeah. Going on there between the, I believe it's Mark Russell and with a touch. And I just remember on the replays. Mark Russell with Parker in the 100 racing car. And there's only around left in this qualification, and basically it's for the pits or done for day. So Tony across the line in 5th place. This may be the first of his 2 last chances to get a good lap in. And as far as we're concerned, anyone, it's their chance. Now it's up to those on spoil their day or make that is in BTCC really virtual racing, that is. And let's just have a look. Oh, nice taken there by has onto the last corner again, into the pits. On the clock, here comes, still in 5th position. He's only got one last chance. Hids, Kirk, Horton, Vickers, Self, Dikovic, and Save. 4, 3, 2, and the qualifying session is only those in the lap may do their lap for today. So just gone across the line. Foster's gone across times. Well, we already them need to do, and really inconsistent today. That is highly unlikely to go above 23rd position. Holding up a run off in spectacular fashion, bang into the wall. Not much damage as you can see there, but there's a little bit of damage on the car indeed. Russell will not improve on his time, unfortunately. And is he going into the pits? No, he isn't. He's still carrying on. And only Brewis to do a race across the line. And there you have the lineup. First, English is in 2nd, Hids in 3rd, and Russell goes across the line. It goes around that again. Then we got Kirk in 4th, Barker in 5th, Manasiv 6th, Rasner 8th, Vickers 9th, Worcester in 10th, Lewis Bramman 12th, Self 13th, Mead 14th, Dudakovic 15th, Chris Russell in 16th, Spooner 17th, Foster 18th, Anderson in 20th, and in 21st is. So join us back in about a few minutes when we will be live. Just don't go away. And we are back. Just ready in time race itself. So let's just have a look at what grid is like, shall we? But unfortunately we can't today. So because due to reasons, we are not able to show you the grid, because unfortunately I wasn't able to get as much information at the time as possible. So unfortunately this grid is cancelled until the next race, which is just after this race. So unfortunately we cannot do that. What a shame. So yeah, we do know that Mason and English is starting up front. That is for certain. You know what, we'll just do a little grid for this one. Only as far as we know. Okay, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right. See, this is why the grid system is basically do well, in my opinion. And besides, things very lagging out on my end as well for that demand. So yeah, we are ready here. The first race, the 2015 BTCC season, and it's out and away they go. A very good start from Andy Horton there. Just got in. Actually, it's Rob Mason, but no, Chris English just overtaking him into the first corner. Let's have a look as they go around. Any contact at all? Oh! That was huge contact from, I believe that. Oh no, that's just gone horribly wrong for those guys at the back. Matthew Lewis is involved. So was Chris. It wasn't Chris English. I believe it was Andy Horton and such. I don't know who was involved. Who seemed to be involved anyway? It was one of the Swiss motions, I believe. It's Roy Worcester. Roy Worcester seems damaged a bit. So things have not really gone to plan this season for him so far. We're only 1 lap gone, and already we had chaos at the start, and seems to be more chaos in the next few minutes. And his name is Mark Russell. If he keeps it on the road, if he doesn't keep it on the road, then basically carnage will ensue. Anyway, back to the front, shall we? And Chris English is leading ahead of Mason, Barker, Kirk, Rasner, Manaziv, Vickers, Bram, Self and Spooner. That is the top 10. Mead, Chris Russell. I'm able to get the rest of that, but anyway, that's what it seems to look like at the moment. Anyway, we can actually see now again: English, Mason, Barker, Kirk, Rasner, Manaziv, Vickers, Bram, Self, Spooner, Russell. I hope that's not 2 Russells there. I don't want to get confused. There is 2 Russells in the race, but which Russell is it? That's the question. That is the main question indeed. Nicely go on. Off it goes Chris English. And Rob Mason is leading here at Brands Hatch in the first race of 3. Unbelievable stuff that I'm seeing here today. And here comes the overtake for Denny Manaziv to pull on Adam Rasner. Doesn't seem to get around the Bambino. Bambino! Anyway, doesn't seem to get around him at this moment in time. But wait a minute, he's going for an overtake at the Drew's Hill Bend and doesn't really seem to get around. But he might go for another overtake soon. Any other overtakes going on? Oh, off goes one of the Panificas, and it is Dene Manaziv. And there's a bit of carnage at the back. I believe there is Max Spooner in the Craftwork Quieter Sports, created by Motorsport, and he's behind Christian Bram at this moment of time. Will he try and get past him in the next couple of laps? There are only 18 laps to go, and it's getting fast by the minute. Self is already up a place. Vickers is down a place. That is the only position scenes that we're seeing at this moment in time, and that is very risky situation there from Christian Bram. Everything seems to be going well, and there goes Spooner trying to get past Christian Bram. It's not Christian Bram behind him. It's actually there's going to be massive overtaking from Spooner. Is he going to get round Bram going through there? He's nearly halfway there though. He's nearly halfway there. Is he going to get past it when he crosses the line? He can. Spooner is now up 2 places. And no, he is. He's just got re-overtaken by Christian Bram, just going into the Druid's hairpin. Oh, off they go! Unbelievable stuff I'm seeing. And Joshua Anderson, unfortunately, has retired from the race. That is absolutely disappointing debut for the Cosmo Autosport driver. Any other overtakes going on at this moment in time? Doesn't seem to be any more, but there is close battle between the last 2 of the top 3 drivers. That is Kirk and Rasner. Actually, it's English and Rasner. English really trying to get past the Bambino. Actually, yeah, it's just gone past him with ease. Nicely done by Chris English. There was James Kirk. He's been absolutely consistent in this race. Mind you, this is his first race in World Series Virtual Racing BTCC. And don't forget, he has had racing experience in the GPVWC. So, he's really having good experience here today. 16 laps to go, and it's Mason leading ahead of James Kirk in 2nd, Rasner in 3rd, English in 4th, 5th place is Barker, Self is in 6th, Spooner 7th, Vickers in 8th, Mead in 9th, and Hinds is down in 10th place, but he's still keeping an eye on proceedings. Okay, very risky cornering there from Graham Foster. Let's see if there's any more overtakes going on this moment in time. There is a stiff battle between Andy Horton in the Kitty Racing, Roy Worcester in the Swiss Motion Racing, and Chris Russell in the Race Tub Racing car. Horton really over the back of Roy Worcester as they go up to the Druid's hairpin. No, he hasn't gone off. Oh, someone's gone off. It's Alan Mead in the Pro 100 Racing. Just got in front of Lewis there. And Roy Worcester comes. Andy Horton, this is his opportunity now. There he goes. The Welshman from Groland has got in front. Absolutely fantastic overtaking by Horton. Any more overtaking happened in time? The top 2 between Rob Mason and James Kirk. They're really trying to fight it out at this moment in time, but doesn't to get that battle underway as soon as possible. And doing our best as can. There we go. I think that may have sorted the problem. Just had a little bit of problems there. And all there is Mark Russell. Why is Mark Russell here? I just want to know why was Mark Russell here. I mean, he's been a little bit inconsistent in his races, but hopefully he will improve. And if he doesn't, then that's just basically it for him. So I'm not going judging drivers now. Oh, there's a bit of drama happening now between both pro racing car drivers of Tony Barker and James Kirk. James Kirk has actually slowed down a bit. He's actually been overtaken by his teammate Tony Barker for second place, and James Kirk has actually gone wide again. This is the opportunity for Jim Self to get past. We're now going to be on board with Jim Self. Will James Kirk let go of this position right now? There doesn't seem to be anything else happening here. And Chris English has retired from the race. The champion himself is out. And only 10 laps from the end he's out. So let's have a look then. Self really trying to get all the way on the back of Kirk as much as he can. Hopefully he'll try and put the Englishman as much pressure as he can. Let's see what's happening else behind. No other close battles. The only other close battle that we can see at the moment is between Dene Manaziv in the Panifica VRT and Christian Bram in the Pro Race 100 racing car. And in front of them is the kitty litter racing of the one and only Andy Horton. 9 laps to go. And off goes Dene Manaziv. Unbelievable stuff that I'm seeing here at this moment in time. Oh, that is really close there. There is Max Spooner currently in 15th place, just behind Dene Manaziv, just gone off just earlier. Let's have a look in front, and there we can go on board with the kitty litter racing of Andy Horton just behind Bram. Can Andy Horton make the move on him? No, he's just going off track a bit, so he may have lost his battle just then, but though he can come back and try and overtake him. No, he's just gone a little bit wide there. He will come back though. He will come back. Only 8 laps to go. He's got plenty of time to do this. Let's have a look further in front. There is Roy Worcester. He's battling with the race hub car of Chris Russell. So it's basically Ford power versus Chevrolet power. Both American motors. But this car is designed in Britain. Hence the name, this is British Motorsport. And it's virtual. And there's different car manufacturers involved. Okay, it's not exactly British, but it's still British Touring Car Championship because it's situated in Britain. Okay, one of them is still abroad. Okay, we'll give up on that one. So only 7 laps to go. And it's still... Who's leading at the front? Mason. Rob Mason, and he could make his first win for the kitty litter crew here today. He's gone a little bit wide off track, but that won't hinder him at all. Tony Barker is only just about a few laps behind, so he could improve. Jim Self is in 3rd. 4th place is Kirk. 5th is Hinz. 6th Rasner. 7th is Russell. 8th is Vickers. 9th is Christian Bram. 10th Horton. Actually 10th is Bram. 11th is Horton. 12th Mead. 13th Lewis. 14th is Manazi. 15th is Spooner. 16th is Bruce. 17th is Dudukovic. 18th is Foster, and that's it. And only Mark Russell is behind, and he's really not putting out much of the stops here today. And we only have 2 retirements in the form of Chris English and Joshua Anderson. Nice sliding there from Rob Mason. Absolutely nice sliding. Okay, let's have a look at other people going up and down. There's Tony Barker, self. And there's a bit of tight battle here for Roy Worcester, trying to get past Chris Russell. Let's go on board with him. Chris Russell's just gone a little bit wide here. This is Worcester's opportunity into Druid Hill's bend. That is pushed him a little bit wide, but he still gets the overtake on him. And he's, yeah. And Russell might, yeah, there's Mark Russell going past. No, he's just basically not doing his job basically there. And Russell is now at the hands of Chris Vickers in the SR Hardware Ford Focus. Could Vickers get past him? We'll have to see in a bit. Only 3 laps to go, and Rob Mason just in the fastest lap of the race, 47.625. 3 laps to go, and this battle is actually heating up a bit. Vickers versus Chris Russell. Sorry about that. Not really trying to get past them this moment in time. We will get past them in a sec. Or not, I don't know. And there's a bit of battle between Matthew Lewis and Andy Horton. Lewis goes a little bit wide off track. Could Andy Horton get the move on him? And Lewis is just all over the place at the moment. So Andy Horton could make the move sometime soon. They've only got about 2 laps to go in this lap. Anything else happening here? Nothing else much happening. And Mark Russell may have just spoilt Lewis's and Horton's fight for position there. So Mark Russell really not doing a good job there. Okay, only 1 lap to go. And it's up to the main man himself, Rob Mason, to take the spoils here. Here it comes! Rob Mason to win the first race here at Brands Hatch. An absolutely unbelievable race. Overtook Chris English at the start of the race to lead on and win. Absolutely faultless from Rob Mason. Second place is Tony Barker, 3rd is Self, 4th is James Kirk. Unbelievable debut for him. Hinds is in 5th, Rasner in 6th, Worcester in 7th, Chris Russell is in 8th, Vickers 9th, and Bramford 10th. 11th is Mead, Lewis in 12th, 13th is Horton, 14th is Manaziv. Oh, there is, yeah. The 15th is Spooner, 16th is Brewis, 17th is Judukovic, 18th is Foster, 19th is Mark Russell. not the debut that he wanted at all. But hey, that's the way life goes in sim racing. You can either succeed or decreed. Okay, that was a little bit weird. Okay, we'll be back in about a few more minutes when we'll be going into race 2. Don't go away. Okay, we are back for race 2, and finally we're going to be using the grid. Unfortunately, due to word limitations, unfortunately, we can only include the first few in. So let's just have a look at what the grid is today. So let's have a look. Starting on pole position is Rob Mason. Tony Barker is in second. Third is Jim Self. James Kirk is in fourth position. Fifth position is Thomas Hinds. Then we've got Adam Rasner in sixth, and then seventh place will be taken up by Roy Wustner. Eighth is Christian Russell in the Race Hub racing car. Then it is Chris Vickers with Christian Bram just rounding out the top 10. 11th place is Alan Mead with Matthew Lewis in 12th. 13th is Andy Horton with Denny Manaziv in 14th. 15th place is Max Spooner and he's had Russell Lewis in 16th. That's all I can include for now, unfortunately. But still, nicely done. So we're just waiting for the last car to go on the grid. I don't think he's got onto the grid yet. Okay, slightly awkward. Slightly awkward there. So we'll be going to the grid in a sec. Once again. Okay, we are back once again. Okay, that is a bit awkward now. That is very awkward. Okay, things have really took an unusual turn. Right, we'll be back in a second. We'll get more information in. Don't go away. Okay, we are back once again. Hopefully this will get underway because this is the last, hopefully the last restart, because any other restarts and then we'll have to call the event off. But though that was quite eventful just now. Denny Manazeve unfortunately wasn't able to get to the grid because his wheel kept disconnecting. But anyway, we are back and we are going to do the grid once again. So, let's start at the front. It's Rob Mason who's in pole position ahead of Tony Barker in second. Third is Jim Self ahead of James Kirk in fourth. Fifth place will be Thomas Hinds ahead of Adam Rasner in sixth. Seventh is Roy Wissner and he's ahead of Christian Russell in the Hub racing car in eighth. Chris Vickers in ninth with Christian Bram in 10th. 11th place will be to Alan Mead, and ahead of him is Matthew Lewis in 12th. 13th is Andy Horton, and 15th is Denny Manazeve, and then finally the last two we'll be able to count on here is Max Spooner in the Quatermass Motorsport car and Russell Brewis. So we are ready, hopefully, once again, and this is it, second race today here at Brands Hatch to kick off the 2015 A season. Lights out and away they go, and it's an absolutely fantastic start from Rob Mason so far. He's only got Tony Barker behind him. Let's see if there's any other contacts going to be happening here at the start. No contacts at all. Absolutely fantastic. Or am I wrong? Nope, I'm not wrong at all. Wait a bit, someone's off track a bit, but though no major contact involved. But there are people going off wide off a bit. 22 laps as it is before. And nice people going past there. 21 laps to go. Mason leads ahead of Barker, Kirk, Self, Rasner, Wissner and Hinds. You get the idea. And where is Mark Russell? Is he inconsistent? He is. Just gone off track just now. I think Mason and Kitty Litter Racing, despite being founded by Andy Horton, which was based in North Wales, may be a force to be reckoned with this season. This part of the season in 2015. They may be a force to be reckoned with. And off goes Judicovic, but he's still keeping it on track, or at least in the gravel for a sec. Off he goes back into the black stuff. And off goes Manazeve. Remember, he had a fantastic roll. Well, not roll to be proud of, but he did a roll. RC in the 2014 A season back at Alton Park, where he rolled over past the first chicane, but luckily survived that accident. And is there going to be contact here? Doesn't seem to be. Everyone's going through there safely. 19 laps to go, and it's still everyone in the race. All off goes Rasner. Unbelievable stuff from Adam Rasner. And ooh, nice sliding there by Brewis. He's been overtaken by Joshua Anderson. So up front still is Rob Mason. Car number 99. Will it be number 1 soon? Okay, Dudukovic still in the race there. And English is all over the back of Spooner's Crater Motorsport car. Could he get past him? Doesn't seem to be. That's an interesting number, 69. I do apologise for that. There seems to be a problem for James Kirk. He's seemed to be lagging out a bit. Yep, James Kirk seems to have gone out of the race by all means. Yep, he's definitely out of the race. And off goes Russell once again. But will he quit this time? James Kirk has, but will Mark Russell? The answer is no, he's still carrying on. What unbelievable stuff I'm seeing here. What unbelievable stuff. So Mark Russell trying to keep it on the road if he can. 14 laps to go. Let's see what else is happening here today. He's keeping it well there. 12 laps to go. Let's see what else is happening on track. Doesn't seem to be more overtaken there. Oh, a little bit of a slide there from Joshua Anderson. There's a little bit of battle there between Rasner and Vickers. Vickers really closing up on him there. Only 11 laps to go, and Mason still leading ahead. And Chris Vickers may have just lost a little bit of time trying to catch up on him by going over the apex too much at all. Just brake too hard into the Druid's hairpin. Into the Graham Hill bend. Let's see if we can... let's have a look at this battle between Chris English and Christian Russell. Christian Russell really trying all his power to try and keep English behind. But it doesn't seem to pay off soon because English is a bit faster than him. And it's proving it now. And there he goes. Chris English goes into 6th position ahead of Russell. Nicely done. And now Russell's just gone off and made the way for Self to go through. Will Spooner be next to overtake the car in front of him? Oh, Mason's still in first. Second place is Barker, Wisner in third, Hinds in 4th position, 5th is Lewis, 6th is English, 7th Self, 8th is Christian Russell, 9th is Spooner, and 10th is Christian Bram. Only one retirement so far in the form of James Kirk, and it seems that Matt Spooner, and so Matt Russell won't carry on anytime soon. He's slowing down, but I don't think he's quitting out of this one. He's just basically a mobile blockade for those who want to get past, and a danger man as well. So only one retirement that we had so far in the form of James Kirk. And if this is the Russell's idea of trying to get in front, it doesn't seem to be working. There is Mason just behind Russell Brewis. A bit struggling there, and he lets him pass there. That's a good one. Only 8 laps to go, or is it 7 when Mason crosses the line? It is now 7 to go. Tony Barker is in second, not that far behind, but he's basically think the race is out of his hands now. Mason is really putting as much of a gap between him and Barker as much as he can. Behind him is Wisner, hoping for his first podium finish of the season. Hinds behind him in 4th, which will give them a good result for Cosmo Autosport. Then we have Alan Mead. It's not Alan Mead, it's Matthew Lewis, and it's Self, English, Spooner, Russell, Christian, Bram, and Andy Horton behind him. But Andy Horton is so close to getting past Christian Bram. Let's go on board with him. He's so close, absolutely close. And there's Christian Russell trying to do his to do the same style as his brother doesn't seem to work. Let's have a look further up the field. And Tony Barker might lose his second place to Roy Wisner if he catches up to him in time. 5 laps to go, mind you. And Roy Wisner is absolutely close to him there. Absolutely close. Barker really trying to keep as much distance between him and Roy Wisner as he can, but Roy seems to keep up and keep up and keep up. 4 laps to go, and it's proper close now. 2 tenths separate them, and this may be Roy's chance to get past him. He's only got 4 laps left, so he must do it soon if he wants an extra couple of points on the table for him. But right now it's Barker's advantage and it's Wisner's loss at this moment in time. Wisner has the pace, he just needs the consistency to get past. The audacity, really. And that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon, as we can gather. Let's have a look at battles further behind. Chris English is under attack from Spooner, but I don't think Spooner will pose much of a threat to the champion. 3 laps to go. Meanwhile, Christian Russell might try to eye up a move on Christian below Russell's there. That might spoil his chances. Yeah, it spoiled his chances. But Andy Horton is really close behind him, so I think he might make the overtaking move here, or not. Two laps to go. Let's have a look at Foster. He's currently being chased by Dudikovic in the Ponifica VRT. And behind him is Dine Manaziv. Josh Anderson in 18th, 19th is Brewis, who's just retired, and Russell has retired as well. We can confirm that now, as well as Kirk. So 3 cars are out, only 18 cars remain. And it seems to me that Mason may have grabbed himself another victory, which proves today that Mason is a genuine title contender for this season, as Mason comes out of the final corner as he comes down to cross the line to win his second race of the day. Absolutely faultless, and I mean faultless, by the Englishman. He's been consistent to the BTC Cup earlier last year and is now consistent here. Absolutely brilliant. Worcester comes in second, Barker comes home in third after a huge battle with them. Then it's 4th place for Hinds, 5th is Lewis, 6th is English, 7th Spooner, 8th is Christian Russell, 9th is Horton, 10th Bram, 11th is Mead, 12th is Vickers, 13th Frasner, 14th Self, 15th Dudikovic, 16th Foster, 17th is Manaziv, and 18th Joshua Anderson. Retirements are as follows: Russell Brewis, Mark Russell and James Kirk. And that is race 2 wrapped up as well. We will be back in a few minutes when we have race 3. Don't go away. Okay, we are back for the final race of the day. And unfortunately, I decided not to do the grid, so may as well be the professional way of doing it. So they swapped the top 10 around. So Christian Bram is in pole position. Second place is in fact Andy Horton. Third is Christian Russell. Fourth is Spooner. Fifth is English. Sixth Lewis. Seventh is Hinds. Eighth is Barker. Ninth is Wissner. 10th Mason. 11th Reed. 12th Vickers. 13th is Rasner. 14th Sel. 15th is Dudikovic. 16th is Manazev. 17th Kirk. 18th is Brewis. 19th Mark Russell. And that's it. Only 19 people participating because Graham Foster and Joshua Anderson have quit out the game due to personal commitments. So we're just waiting for the lights to go out for the final day today. For the final time today. This should be spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and final race today is lights out, and away they go for the final race here today at Brands Hatch at Indy, and it's Christian Bram who's got the good start. Will Rob Mason get him on the outside? Oh, very close there. Not able to get past him at this moment in time. Crash involving Rasner, and is that Self? Yeah, it is Self. It was very, very close there. It's only 22 laps to go at this moment in time. We haven't even started the race yet. And it's Christian Bram still leading. But Rob Mason could pass him anytime soon. And Adam Rasner is out of the race. Now let's go on board with Andy Horton as they start the second lap here today. Not really catching up on him as it's actually Andy Horton is actually in second place. So if Andy needs to get past him if he is able to win his first race here in the BTCC. But that doesn't seem to be happening at this moment in time. And yep, he's gone a little bit overboard. He may have lost a little bit of time. He's only got English behind him, so English, if those two falter in front of him, then English could take the spoils here today. But at the moment it's all Christian Bram. But Andy Horton is really trying to push hard as much as he can. He really wants this win as much as he can. But it looks like he might not get it because English is nearly close to overtaking him now. In he goes on the inside. And there he goes with precision. And Andy Horton is left fuming in that cockpit as he's about to be boarded again. This time by Max Spooner. But Max doesn't seem to get through him at the moment. Max just put the fastest lap of the race. 48 dead. $20 laps to go. Actually 19 laps to go. The race just flies by in a matter of seconds, and it's still Christian Bram still leading. Oh, be careful there. And Matthew Lewis has actually just overtaken him. Just haven't seen that. Matthew Lewis has just overtaken him. Now Chris English might be able to make the move on Bram. There might be a pile up here if Chris English doesn't make the overtaking right. Let's go on board with him now. And Christian Bram really trying to hold on to first place as much as he can to fend off Chris English. There he goes. Oh, he's taking Bram off. But Bram stays in the same position as much as he can. It's unbelievable stuff that we're seeing here at this moment in time. Only 17 laps to go. Only 16 laps to go, and Chris English really trying to put as much pressure on Bram as he can. Remind you, Andy Horton is really close behind him now. They formed an orderly queue and looks like it could be anyone's race. But Andy Horton doesn't really seem to hold on to that position forever. Matthew Lewis is close behind him. Doesn't seem to get past him now. And there goes Chris English, and he hits Bram, and always hit, and it, oh, nearly contact there. But we can't gather there's only one position difference, and that is one for first place. Chris English is now in front. Bram is now down in second. Horton remains where he is, and Lewis remains where he is. With 15 laps to go, it could be anybody's race. And you're watching it live on Avid Sports WSVR. Oh, and Lewis had a little bit of a touch from Max Spooner. Let's hope he's just bantering about and not doing anything serious. Christian Russell is also behind him as well. Let's see who else is also having good battles at the moment. Barker is in front of Rob Mason, the winner of the last two races. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better for him. James Kirk, however, is back in this race after his graphics card overheated, but he's hoping to get back into it as soon as possible. And where is Mark Russell? There he is. Not able to continue on at the moment in time. He's still 18th, but he's still continuing on for some strange reason. Rasner is out of the race, we can gather that. English still leading the way. But for how long? Christian Bram is really close to him. Only 13 laps to go. And looks like Mason is trying to make a move on, I believe that is Barker. Here he comes. Just on the inside. Nice overtaking by Mason, but he's been come back and is hasn't really gained that position. But Mason will come back in a few seconds. Here he comes now. And he's so close there. And oh no, only 11 laps to go in this race. But who is going to take the spoils this time round? Oh, Barker's in a little bit of trouble there. Let's have a look back at the front, see if anything else is happening there. And Chris English is really trying to stay ahead, but Horton is now in second. Oh, and Russell goes off track. This is what I mean. Mark Russell basically not fit to race at this moment in time. English still leading ahead in first place. Horton still in second. Bram is in third. You can establish that now. Horton has got the better of Bram. But English looks on course now to win this race. But unless Horton stays where he is and English does not make a mistake, English will still win this race. But Horton will be a little bit much more closer. Should English do make a mistake, then Horton might win the race. But it all comes down to this: the last 9 laps here at Brands Hatch on the IndyCar layout. Horton is getting too far away now from English, as far as he is concerned. Let's go further back, and Lewis and Barker are really into it in their own. They're putting up a huge train behind them. In the position that Horton is in right now, he could go for his first BTCC podium, never mind a win. And there's a bit of a contact between Mason and Spooner, and everything else seems to be happening behind there. Let's go on board with James Kirk, and oh, he's taken off Mason. He's taken off Mason, and Spooner's nearly been taken off as well. And Kirk is trying to find a way past Spooner. Oh, he's touched a little bit. So huge mix up there. So Chris English has just made the fastest lap of the race, 47.607. Only 6 laps to go, and English is still leading. So technically it's England, Wales, England, Germany, England and England. That is the top 6. And looks like Christian Russell is furious with Jim Self there, and he's just said good day and he's off. So therefore it is now down to 17 men. Christian Russell is out. His estranged brother Mark Russell is still on. Only 5 laps to go, and it's still Chris English leading ahead of Horton, who might go for his first ever BTCC podium. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Manaziv trying to get past Chris Vickers, and he's trying his real best there. Let's see what Rob Mason is up to. He's currently in 12th behind, I believe, is Jim Self there, who forced Christian Russell, as he exclaimed earlier. And Rob Mason really trying his best to keep up with the Swiss motion driver. Okay, looks like a little yellow flag there, and it's Mark Russell. Who would have thought it? Mark Russell just got back behind Matthew Lewis, but though he's going into the pit, so he's not going to ruin Horton's race by any chance. So in he comes. Hopefully he's going to retire this time. And he doesn't for some strange reason. Andy Horton still in second place. Lewis only 4 seconds behind him, but I believe it's going to be too late now. 3 laps to go. Only English needs to go complete the next couple of corners, and there'll be 2 laps to go. English and Horton and Lewis really stuck it out in the end. Not without fault, but they stuck it out. So 4 retirements in this race, highest we had this season so far. The highest battle going on at the moment is Rob Mason against Roy Worcester. Going into the first corner, Worcester really cutting Mason off there. 2 laps to go, and here comes Rob Mason into Roy Worcester. Oh, he goes into the apex too much there. Rob Mason may try around the outside of Worcester there. Doesn't seem to. But he's still keeping safe. 1 lap to go for Chris English and Andy Horton. Now, closest battle now is between Max Spooner and Chris Vickers for 5th place. Here comes Max Spooner, and he's took Vickers off, but he couldn't care less. He's back in front. Well, where is he? He might be overtaken on the inside by the Cosmo Autosport of Thomas Hinds, and nicely done there. But the man of the moment right now is Chris English. He comes across the line to win his first race as champion this year. Absolutely fantastic. He wasn't able to win the first 2 races due to his compatriots' utter success from Rob Mason, but he's able to stick out in the end. The next man in the moment is Andy Horton, his first podium in the BTCC. Well, congratulations to him. Lewis is 3rd, Bram 4th, Hinds 5th, Spooner 6th, Self in 7th, Vickers in 8th, Worcester 9th, Kirk in 10th, 11th Mason, 12th Mead, 13th Manaziv, 14th is Barker, 15th is Russell Brewis, coming across the line anytime soon. Next up is actually the retirements are Mark Russell, Chris Russell, Javica Dudukovic, and Razner. Okay, that is basically the racing today. We'll be back in a few seconds when we'll have some interviews, hopefully. Don't go away. Okay, we are back. Hopefully to get some final interviews in, and today we have Roy Westner. Hello, Roy.
Hello and good evening.
So, in terms of your racing, how was your racing today? Really?
Good racing overall, actually. Really tight as always. Brands at Indy.
Yeah. Did you have any difficulties? Okay, what was your main difficulties of the day?
That's all tied together, you know. You can't make any mistakes. You must have seen the ones that make mistakes. I've got difficulties in the field because there's so many people. So you can quickly lose 10 positions with just one slight mistake.
Yeah.
Then you're fighting back, and we're all so tight together, so it's really difficult to overtake. But I had some good moments there in the race overall. Even with Thomas there in race 2, he was behind me, I think so.
Yeah. One more question before you pop off. Do you think you can improve anywhere?
Not tonight. That was the last race, you know.
Yeah, I know, but in future.
Yeah, there's always improvement. I mean, yeah. But overall, we've got a good crowded lineup, and so there's a lot of people who can really race, and it's a lot of fun. But it's good competition.
Okay, thank you very much, Roy, and I'll let you get on with the night.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye on.
And we also have a debutant here today, Mr. Thomas Hins. Hello, Thomas.
Hello.
So, debut in the WSVR BTCC. How was it for you?
Oh, fantastic! In all honesty, yeah, I don't know. It's like the car. Usually, I'm a bit sort of with front wheel drives. I usually prefer a rear wheel, but just that cruise just really fitted me like a glove. It was fantastic, and I think it was fourth, fifth, so very consistent, which was nice. And in race 3, I was sitting about 7th, and then the 2 ahead had a little bit of a moment, and I was able to slip through. That was a good little move that I was happy with. But yeah, good racing overall. It was good fun.
Do you have any do you have a best highlight of the race so far?
There's actually quite a few good moments with Roy there just in race 2. That was fun, trying to catch him, chase him down, but he just sort of gapped me eventually by about halfway through the race. But probably that third race, just last lap, 2 ahead at all moment, and I just took the moment, dived up the inside, and then took 2 spots for 1 corner, which was really nice. So that's probably the highlight so far.
And do you think there's anything that you can improve on in future?
Probably maybe just the the starts, I think, because I was a little bit sort of bogged down a little bit in the starts, and maybe a bit overly cautious on the first lap, just trying to make sure I don't contact people and I'd lose sort of 3 or 4 spots. So maybe just being a little bit more willing to keep a spot. Obviously not being too aggressive, of course, but just being more willing to keep it there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much thank you very much, Thomas, and I'll let you get on with your night.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Final man that we have in for interview here tonight is Mr. Matthew Lewis. Hello, Matt.
Evening.
So, first race of the new year, and it hasn't really gone to plan for you, hasn't it?
Well, I got clobbered. Still not quite sure what exactly happened, so I need to look at the replay. But I think it was probably 3 or 4 wide going into Druids, and I was on the inside, and I became the barrier for somebody. But yeah, no, that third in race 3. That's probably a good recovery.
Now, race 3, you had some of your best moments and some of your worst. Do you think that your battle with Andy Horton would have gone good?
I think me and Andy were fairly clean, I thought.
And do you have anything that you can improve on after tonight?
Making it round turn 1 in race 1 in not in Barry would be. I didn't even see what was coming. That was the daft thing. My car just got launched, and I ended up pointing at the ground, and I don't know if it rolled over or what happened, but yeah, no, it was just a bit messy that. But it was fun. It's first race of the season, first event of the season. Things are obviously a bit different here this year because we've got a number of championships running side by side. We'll see how that plays out, because we'll obviously be jumping in from rFactor 1 BTCC, rFactor 2, and a couple of other things in between. Some rally crossing should mix things up quite a bit.
It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for coming in, Matt, and hopefully to see you in future.
Cheers, everyone.
Okay, bye bye. Okay, so that is basically it for the broadcast tonight. Before we go, let's just have a look at the calendar of see is what is happening later on in the next in the next week or so. Actually, the next few weeks. The next race will be at Oulton Park on the 23rd of January. So please tune in for that. But the next event that will be here on Avid Sports WSVR will be the first race of the NGTC World Series, and that will be on that will be on rFactor 2, and we have the calendar right here as well. The first race of that World Series will be at Bathurst in Australia on the 16th, which will be at which will be from 8:30 next Friday, on the 16th of January. Then we have then we will go across the continent to New Zealand on the 6th of February, then so on. And the season finishes at Silverstone on the 31st of July. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you in Bathurst. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. Enjoy Avid Sports on your game consoles, online, on the go, and full broadcasts are on demand on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe for more content.